We have a squishy surprise for you in the form of AZLA's new Xelastec ear tips. Now these new tips are similar in shape to the popular wide-bore Sedna-fit silicone ear tips from the same company, but this new Xelastec variant is made with TPE plastic. The nice thing about these new tips is that this TPE is a thermoplastic that gets slightly softer with body heat. Now combined with the high friction, tacky feel of the tips, and you get a tip that is extremely stable in the ear. You also get long-term comfort comparable with foam tips with the durability of silicone. They come in 6 different sizes from super small to large, and in general, like with the standard silicone AZLAs, we find that these tips run one size large. That is to say, if you usually buy a medium size from most other brands of tips like Sony Hybrid or Final E-Type, then you'll probably need a MS medium small tip from AZLA. These Xelastec tips are also a bit shorter than the regular silicone Sedna fits, which is another factor in how they fit overall with very large earphones. Now I can personally say that these tips work great, and I've been using them with the Sony WF-1000XM3 true wireless earphones because they stay more stable in the ear with these tips, and they don't have any issues fitting in the charging case. They've also made a huge difference with my Sony IEZ1R, since for the first time I can use a silicone tip with a Sony without feeling that the heavy weight of the earpiece wants to pull the whole thing out of my ear. The sound is overall a bit flatter and leaner with these tips. They don't bring any extra mid-bass warmth to the sound like the narrow-bore Sony or Final E-Type, but the seal is very good, so they will get you every bit of deep sub-bass. If you've heard the silicone Sedna fits, then these Xelastec tips are similar but just a bit brighter. The biggest nitpick I have with these tips is that the slightly sticky TPE tends to pick up dust and debris that needs to be wiped off regularly. Also, we haven't had these tips long enough to be able to tell you whether this TPE stays color fast or stable in shape. But so far so good, and we have gotten some very positive feedback from our surprisingly enthusiastic first round of customers. So we welcome you to pop in and try these new tips for yourself, or you can order online at minidisc.com.au. Now this is Lachlan from Minidisc TV, and we'll see you next time.